All right. It's a Q&A. It's a Q&A. It's a Q&A. It's a Q&A. Wedges. But guys, to get your question asked and answered, head to the website www.halfhopefootballhut.com. Top left hand corner, ask HH. That sends an email to my inbox. State your name. So if you're writing for the first time, state your name, where you're writing from, the first video you watched of mine, and ask your question, and I will be more happy to answer any question, whether football or non-football related. I'm here to serve you guys, the viewers. So, let's get on with this. Hazem Zahab. Hi HH, hope you're doing well. I don't know about that. I don't understand that question. I'm alive, so I'm content and I'm glad to be alive and breathing and in good health, I hope. My questions to you are, what do you think of AC Milan's 4 new signings? Kessie, Musashi, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Andre Silva. Do you think they can challenge Juventus next season with a few more signings? Note, super agent Jorge Mendes is working on bringing James Rodriguez to Milan, according to reliable sources in Italy, and also Diego Costa on loan. So, if it's based purely on Kessie, Musashi, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Andre Silva, no. They can't realistically challenge Juventus, but they can come close. If you add James Rodriguez and Diego Costa there, we have a title race. Simple as that. Because with those players, I'm liking what I see of Andre Silva. He looks very exciting. Again, I think Barca has to be kept. I don't know where Barca features is, because Barca is a player who you can't really take him in, because I think he's one of the best strikers in the world. James Rodriguez, so yeah, but you put James Rodriguez in there, who's a creative player, far more better than Bonaventura or Bezzolacci, and you have a Diego Costa in there, who's another kind of striking option. I think that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Look at Ricardo Rodriguez. I think that's the dude from Wolfsburg. I think the left back. No, that's looking good. That's looking very good. So I think Milan, they're definitely on the right step, and I like the direction that they're heading in. But let's see what happens. Let the dust settle, because I want to say, come July or a week before the season starts, let's see who they've gotten, so we have a clearer picture as to the kind of team we'll be seeing, at least up until the January transfer fine window. But I am liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking the activity. I'm liking the intent. But I want to see more. I definitely want to see more, and I want to see a big name. I want to see at least two big names. Then we can talk about them really finally battling Juventus for that title next season. Thank you for the question. Jan Janas. Questions about the kid himself. Here, Jan from Berlin, Germany. I started watching you earlier this year after your post-match analysis of Juve Barcelona 3-0 during the Champions League. Your unconventional style, your iconic outfits, and the depth of analysis got me hooked, and now I watch you every day. Thank you very much. Question. You said many times that you don't really earn money from doing this. So what is your actual occupation? How can you spend so much time doing this on the side? Also, you say you played as a midfielder. Can you tell us more about your footballing career and how you switched from playing to doing analysis? Very curious about your life path. Thank you very much. Man, that's nice. Great question. So, my occupation as of right now, again, it's still all up in the air, is that I have two personalities. There's Half Hope, and there's a guy called Ben Wadia. We're two completely different people, and Ben Wadia is my alter ego. So my alter ego, called Ben Wadia, is a sports analyst on Horizon. So my occupation is that, so I just analyze sports. I write sports, so I'm a sports producer stroke analyst, as well as I have a few writing jobs here and there that I do on the side. So really, that is how I pretty much earn my money there. And how can you spend so much time doing this on the side? I made a commitment, because I literally don't sleep, and I've been having sleeping patterns. But I said to myself that I want this to hopefully, touch wood, be my main occupation and source of income, And I think the money is getting there, slowly coming in there. There are a few things that are on the horizon. But yeah, because I think the support that I received from people and the fact that there are people out there who appreciate what I do. And that's the key thing. The fact that people appreciate what you do is huge. Because I got to know an experience where, people don't really, give two S's about me, which is fine. But the fact that I'm on here and there are people that generally, they've learned from what I've said. They watch me every day, and they genuinely respect what I do, and I give enjoyment and fulfillment to people. I think for me that is more than anything. If money comes out from it, fine, that's great. But I think I do this because I enjoy it, and I enjoy the interaction, and I enjoy people like you who, wow, you're a fan. You like what I do, and for me that is an amazing fulfillment that there's so many people actually watch and actually like what I do. And he said that you played as a midfielder. So basically, look, I think this was basically before I got an injury. So this was just school level. So at school level, I was a central midfielder, hovering between A team, B team, C team, and so forth. And I was all right, I said I was a mix of a Vieira Pirlo. So like I always saw myself as a playmaker, and I think I saw myself. When I scored G's, I scored amazing G's, but my main game was playmaking. Pinging 40-yard balls, and then I just liked creating. So that's why I was always more into the kind of analytical part of the game, because I came from playing as a central midfielder who saw the whole pitch and tried to basically create situations for my striker or for my wing or so forth. And I think analysis always seemed like the idea, because ever since I was about 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, I bought management schemes, and I think I've owned every single management scheme. I mean, we're talking FA manager, championship manager, LMA manager, football manager. I mean, I've owned almost every single management scheme. And I was buying World Soccer Magazine, FIFA Soccer Magazine when I was 11, 12. So I've been very obsessed with everything to do with football, with tactics formation, since I was like 9, 8 years old. So it's always what I've done since growing up in Nigeria. So I think it always made sense that I would do this, because I amassed so much knowledge that I was like, yeah, look, man, I think I might as well move this out there. So yeah, this is something that I've been doing ever since I can remember. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for your question. Very, very nice question. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy the content. Kavish Birju. Transfers on Kimmich. Do you think with the transfers Bayern have made that they'll be able to win the treble in the near future? And do you think Kimmich can develop into a world-class right back? No. I think I'm not really that impressed with Bayern's transfer activity personally. Costa out. They didn't get Alexis Sanchez. Players that they brought in don't excite me. So I've not really been that excited, because there's just be a really big name coming in for Bayern. So no, they can't win the treble with these transfers. I think Kimmich can be more than a right back. I suppose maybe he might be there to try to replace Bart Simpson. But you can't replace Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson is perhaps one of the greatest right backs of all time. But I think Kimmich is the most versatile young player in the world. So, and I would like him in midfield. I would like to see him as a defensive midfielder. I would like to see how well he can do in there. But I think definitely in midfield is where I think his forte can be, where he can mix his tackling skills, passing skills, and also his movements and excellent eye for goal. So that's where I would personally want to see him at. Osman 21. Kevin De Bruyne message also. Which of these two players is superior to the other? And can it be a joke that something Ozil is better? it's, normally I do like comparing players, and I don't like to say, players can be compared. It's very hard to compare these two players because they're completely different. Kevin De Bruyne is an attacker-minded winger. Mesut Ozil is a playmaker. So it's very hard to say who is the better person. And it's very hard to say who is better at what they do, because De Bruyne is not as good a playmaker as Mesut Ozil. He doesn't have the kind of footballing IQ, footballing brain that Mesut Ozil has. And Mesut Ozil doesn't have the engine, the acceleration, the speed, and the attacking ferociousness that a De Bruyne has. And he cannot really play the wing position as well as De Bruyne does. So they're completely different players, but they're just very good within the roles that they do. Like, a better comparison is who's better, De Bruyne or Alexis Sanchez. That makes more sense. Or De Bruyne and Douglas Costa. Or with Mesut Ozil, who's better, Mesut Ozil or Iniesta? Mesut Ozil or Pastore? That makes much more sense. But I think with regards to this whole thing, you have to compare players who have the same role. Therefore, you can say who is better, because they both have the same role. Thanks for the question. Manifred Gunza. Hey, HH, it's Manny with another question. With Messi approaching 30 and Cristiano 32, and considering their respective styles of play, who do you think will be the first to retire and first to drop out of the Ballon d'Or top two? That's a hard one, because I think you would say that Cristiano would be the first because of how physical he is, and maybe his body will not be able to last the speed. But a lot of Cristiano's goals are from his movement and his intelligence, which doesn't really require that much speed. It just requires your brain. And as for Messi, you may say, okay, look at how much running he does, how much effort he does, how much activity his body goes through over 90 minutes. But I think he's smaller, and his football has been evolving to the fact that he doesn't actually have to do that much running. He's becoming more and more of a playmaker, and he's dropping deeper and deeper into midfield, and therefore he's really picking his moments as to when to have the ball. So, but again, if I had to, it would make more sense that Cristiano would actually be the first to retire, just because he's older, and his style of play, which requires speed, whether Messi's doesn't. So I think it will make more sense that Cristiano's would be the first to retire. But then again, you never know, because these guys just keep on going. Thank you for the question. James Lombardo. With recent signings of Ricardo Rodriguez and Andre Silva, amongst many other names, do you think AC Milan will be strong enough to finish in the top four in order to qualify for the Champions League next season? Or do you think they can be even perform better and push Juventus all the way for the Serie A title? So I think I answered this already previously, but to reiterate, top four, I think, is definitely a realistic bet, 100%. I think with the signings they have now, I think top four is a realistic aim. They need a few more signings in order to really win the title. To qualify for the Champions League and for sure to win the title, they need about two more big names. So if they get two more big names, then we can talk about the title. But as of right now, you can only talk about a top four. Thanks for the question. Abdullahi Hassan. Hello, my African brother. Hello. What do you think of Senegal's chance in the World Cup, and do you think they are Africa's best team? And why do you think Sadio Mane is so underrated? P.S. I was just kidding about Georgia and Bonucci being in the Break Academy. Yeah, I believe Senegal are the best African team, and I believe that they provide the best chance of an African team winning the World Cup next year. I don't know. It's hard. I don't think Mane is underrated, but I don't think he's appreciated enough. I think definitely this season people saw how good he was, and I think if Mane wasn't injured for this season, I think definitely there would be a strong shout for him to be player of the season. To be a very strong shout. He'd definitely be the closest to Kante. So, but yeah, I think definitely for Senegal, even if they unfortunately they fell to Cameroon at the quarterfinal stage at the Nations Cup, I still feel that with Sadio Mane and Keita Balde and the players that they have and Koulibaly, if they can just get it right, they just have the explosiveness needed to really go on an inspired run at the World Cup. And I just think, as far as quality goes, there's no other African team that are as good as them. The team closest to them, I believe, are DR Congo. I think I'm a huge fan of DR Congo. I think DR Congo and Senegal, who both have local coaches, are Africa's two best teams. Thanks for the question. Anish Varde. Hello, HH. If you're coaching this young French team that will be going to Russia in 2018, who would make your starting 11 and what will the formation be? And also, what team would be in the dream 2018? And what teams would be in the dream 2018 World Cup final for you? So if I was coaching this young French team that will be going to Russia in 2018, who would you make? I mean, for me, I think it doesn't matter who's in the starting 11. I would, if I was the manager, I'd look at the training. And when I look at the training, I would say who impresses me the most and who appears and plays and looks the most hungry. Once I do that, then I say, okay, these are the 11 players who I feel are the sharpest and look the most hungry. And I personally would go play it safe. Play it safe. I'll play a 4-4-2. Because I just think that for a team who are young and everything, I think a 4-4-2 is a nice formation, because what a 4-4-2 gives you, you have your width, you have your wingers, you've got your two midfielders as well. One can go up, one can stay back. And I think two strikers, I really believe in two strikers, because I just think that is much more of a better threat. Because I think if you're playing the lone striker, yes, you can have an extra man in midfield, but how much attacking threats can give you? But then again, it goes, if let's say I don't have two quality strikers, then again, you have to roll with like a 4-5-1. And you just pack the midfield and you really alternate and try and create a very multi-layered midfield with a number 10, with wingers, a central midfield, and maybe two DMs just for extra protection. But I would try and get two strikers in there just because I just think that offers more options in attack and can really make the team perhaps get a goal and look even better. Dream World Cup final, France, Brazil. Let's have a repeat of 98. And this would be 20 years after the fact. So yeah, I think 20 years on, let's have a repeat of 98. France v Brazil would be basically either France v Brazil or Brazil against Argentina. Those are my 22 Dream World Cup finals. Marshall Macaluso. It's the kid. What up from Chai Time? The question is about Bayern Munich. As a fan of Bayern, I would love to see Alexis come to Bavaria, but his wage demands concern me. If he's looking to be paid more than any player on the team, such as Lewandowski, Vidal, or Alaba, that could cause some inter-team issues. Since Bayern have signed some intriguing youngsters such as Serge Gnabry and Corentin Tolisso, do you think Bayern should still pursue Alexis and meet his wage demands? I'm not so sure, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. P.S. I started watching you in the 2014 World Cup, and I'm beyond excited to hear analysis on the 2018 World Cup. Thanks for all your work. All right. Good question. Alexis, if you're smart, take a wage cut. Take a wage cut. Because a move to Bayern for you is a great move. You are guaranteed at least one trophy a season, which is the Bundesliga, and potentially a second one. So you're guaranteed at least one trophy, possibly two. And you have to think, because for me, Bayern Munich should not. They should not be. You should not be paid more than Lewandowski or Vidal or Alaba. I'm sorry. You're good. You're great. You're not that much better than Vidal, Alaba, or Lewandowski. You're not. So I think for Alexis Sanchez, take a wage cut. You don't have to. And for Bayern, 100%, they should not meet his high wage demands. If his wages are really that high, Bayern should not pay him that. I just think that would be wrong for it to happen. So I think the ball is in Alexis Sanchez's court, where for Sanchez, take the wage cuts. Because for me, the move to Bayern, playing under Ancelotti, I think it's far more attractive for your career than a Guardiola Man City in a very fiercely competitive Premier League. So yeah, man, I think if it's smart, take the wage cut. All right, I think I've got 2 questions here from Pierre Richard Michel. Hello, Half Hope. Thanks for this great work you do on a daily fan. Thank you for the great work you do. I'm a daily fan since 2013. My question this week: to increase competition and have less predictable leagues, should UEFA have a new rule like maximum 5 or 6 international players per team, and have, for example, transfer policies like no transfer fee before 23, and not to prevent, let's say, a super talented kid that plays in a small team like Anderlecht or Dynamo Zagreb, the team that they would buy him, have to pay some extra fees for taking a player under 23. It's just that it's just ideas. What should UEFA do? What should UEFA do to not let, say, Bayern and Juve winning 5-6 titles in a row? Great question, and this is something I've been preaching about for a long time. A cap system, that's what needs to happen. You cannot go beyond a certain salary cap, because if there's a cap system, you don't have a Real Madrid. You don't really have like a Juventus or a Bayern Munich. And if there are restrictions on the kind of players you can have, restrictions on getting players from your rivals, you have a much more competitive league. The reason why the league is in the way it is right now is that it's not competitive. And it's because there are no caps, there are no proper regulations. The financial fair play are a bunch of jokers. So I think those are the restrictions: a salary cap, a cap on the kind of players that they can have. Then you would not have super teams, because PSG is a super team. Juventus and Bayern Munich and thingy, these guys are super teams. So I think that's what needs to happen. And I don't think it will happen anytime soon, because I think people like super teams. It's good for merchandising and it's good for business. And as long as it's good for business, people will continue supporting that practice. And that is the end of my question. So guys, thank you so much for asking all of these questions. Remember to have your question answered. Head to the website, halfoffootballhot.com, ask HH. If you're writing for the first time, your name, when you first watched a Football Hot video, and then ask your question away, and then I will answer it in the next batch next Friday. Guys, it's been swell. Thank you so much for supporting the Hot. I'm sorry that this came out a little bit late. I just had a few things to do during the day, and I will see you for the next Q&A. Always remember, Confederations Cup coverage, I hope, will be going soon and happening. And I will see you for the next Q&A episode next Friday. Peace.